Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here tonight with our friends in Kali Masi. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Let's let you all go around in an organized circle fashion, I guess. I don't know how to do this with like pointing at boxes on a screen.
You can just like popcorn each other. Be like, who's looking over next to
let's
you
play
on the Zoom screen?
Let's do alphabetical order.
Jesus.
So iPad, go first.
What's up? I'm iPad. I play bass in the band Kali Masi. My name is Anthony. I don't know what else to say about myself, but I'm Anthony. I play bass.
And you go popcorn, and then you say,
I fucking rule. Yeah. All right. Now
Jay.
I guess it's John's turn.
I'm John. I play drums in Kali Masi. Popcorn, Sam.
I'm Sam. I play guitar and sing in Kali Masi. Popcorn West.
I'm Wes. I play guitar in Kali Masi, and I guess I'll popcorn it back to you guys.
I guess so.
There we go. Seamless.
Sweet.
Perfect system.
You know what? The popcorn system never failed me. That's never failed. I mean, aside from all the times that it probably has failed, but
I was about to say, like, what if you were in a class and you're like, I don't fucking know anybody here?
yeah.
Because I've definitely had that. And I'm like, I'm not having a good time anymore. I was never having a good time.
For you,
They
it'd
should
be
do
popcorn
popcorn in the
girl and
Senate.
bow.
That would be cute.
Adorable. The senators popcorning to each other.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's the secret. That's how we're going to get anything fucking done.
Yeah, Trump saying, popcorn, your turn.
Yeah.
Popcorn over to that senator. I love that senator. Anyway, before we get into any impressions on this, we are talking to you because you have just released your second full length, Laughs, with some brackets. Do you pronounce the brackets, or is it just Laughs?
You don't pronounce it at all.
I
You
feel
don't
like
pronounce anything?
I
It's
feel like I have to say, I feel like it has to be said in like kind of like a weird like accent, like ha ha ha, just because it's
Yeah.
like italicized too.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's in
so.
That's
Spanish.
good.
It's in Spanish.
Wow. So you mean it's ja 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 then?
Ja.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaja Binks.
Thanks.
God.
Well, yeah. Is there anything you want to tell us about the record? I mean, I know it's good, and I know that it's fun, and I know that it's laughter.
Those are all the things I was gonna say. It's good and it's fun.
It's out. It's our second full length. We're excited about it. We're glad to be here talking about it. I don't know. It's been a whirlwind, this release.
Yeah. People always ask us, like, what's the record like? And it's, I don't know. You got to decide that for yourself.
I mean, we've been asking this a lot of guests because a lot of records that have come out, especially like now, have all been written over the last year, which is like a great time to be writing music, I guess, but also, I don't know, motivation wise and like doing things and wanting to like create in this environment. I'm like, that's got to be the most interesting part of it. So is there any like special stories you have about like keeping up with it and like, you know, getting an album written, or was this kind of even before the pandemic, before any of that happened?
Before we had it good, honestly, because we spent all of pandemic just like mixing the record and making videos and album artwork and stuff. So like we finished the record like a few days in certain locations cases, but pretty much a week to 2 weeks before lockdown happened, we were done with it. This is just like a timing miracle for our band.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely tell in a lot. So I know I've read a couple other interviews and listened to a few other pods that you guys have been on about this record, and you guys have a lot of heavy influences from like Alkaline Trio, but I also hear a lot of Rise Against in some of your songs too. And I'm just wondering what other like influences were you going for when you were coming together with this album?
Popcorn Anthony.
I've said it before, but we all have a lot of pretty disparate influences, I think. So we all kind of come from like very different places musically. But it's hard to say where we all intersected, I guess, like, I mean, I think that's kind of what made making this music so exciting. Cause Sam has his songwriting influences. Once we all kind of start getting into the mix, it all, goes to like totally different places. One of the musical, like sort of reference points that, I feel like we made at least a couple of times was Billy Talent. Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot on there.
Yeah, I think Billy Talent, we talked about a little bit for sure, just because they're like, I think the deeper you dive into their records, there's just like a lot more going on than I think they initially advertise. We also talked about like bands like Against Me a lot, and like The Clash, and how like for us specifically as 4 people with like really different tastes in music, like our songwriting process is nice because like maybe Wes will be going for one thing, and then Anthony will be like, well, I hear something completely different. And it just kind of ends up being like, I guess just what our band sounds like. But I think we're just influenced by people who are just like, every record, they're like, we're going to do whatever we want, because that's kind of how I think we approach our songwriting, is like, let's just work on it until it sounds dope and it makes us happy and it feels accurate to how we're feeling,
Yeah, definitely can understand that. Especially like with some of the other, like with the opening track, it's like the longest song, and I'm like, okay, this is really cool, but it's like so like emotionally charged and filled as well to kind of like segue into everything else that's on the album.
Is it the longest song on the whole record? Dang. Oops.
Funny.
Oops. That's the follow-up EP. It's Oops to Laughs. It's
Oops,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of conversation about what the first song on the record was going to be, and a lot of sort of like, is it a really great idea to start it with the longest song, or is it the worst idea ever to start it with that song? And I think we all kind of went back and forth with whether it was going to be whether people were going to like appreciate that was something that we did or not, because it is kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of I don't want to say like a challenging song, but it's like I wouldn't say it's the most accessible song on the record. So like starting the record that way was definitely kind of like, we knew that we were rolling the dice a little bit by doing that.
Yeah, we did that on the first record. We started with what I'm pretty sure is our shortest song and more digestible. So we had to switch it up this time 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one thing we talked about a bunch with this record was just like, not underestimating listeners and being like, oh shit, does this part in the song change too much? Is it too complicated? Or is it like, are people going to get it? Like if we don't have it being like verse chorus with like all these repeats, and those are great songwriting tools to make a song like really fun to listen to. But we were just like, no, people will get it. Like, let's just put it out there and we believe in it. And like, people are like, listeners are smart. They don't need it to be like spelled out, So we were kind of like, this will be a cool song. It'll be like kind of a challenge to see if you like this song, you're really going to like the rest of the record.
It's giving it all up front is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of theories lately about, like, we've been going back to like nostalgic records, like Paramore, Fall Out Boy, looking at like these records and like how they're sort of structured back in the day when like you actually had to go buy a record at a store, right? Like there was no big Apple Music, Spotify, sort of thing where you could stream any song, just the singles, whatever. So you were listening to a record and kind of getting that first song. That first song was your introduction, right? And you're ready to hear the rest of it, and like how the structure of those albums have kind of changed over time. But looking back at like all these nostalgic ones and going like, man, they just like put like 4 singles like right up at the top, and then like the rest of the record like sometimes has really strong songs, sometimes it has just okay songs. Like I feel like now music is just like, we have to put all strong songs on the record because you're just gonna hop in, shuffle, or you're going to like really dig one. And it's like, you know, we'll put out 12 pop songs because that's what is going to keep people around and listening. Like, do you think that like music is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say evolved, but just like, do you think there's like a change in how people are putting records together, are building records out, like where the track listing goes? Do you think that's like kind of changed over the years?
Yeah. I mean, I think that like there are definitely like trends with, you know, there was kind of, especially in emo, there's like in punk rock, there is definitely a trend of having like a bookended record where like the first track was like an intro and the last track referenced the first track. That was like a thing for a couple of years, I feel like. And I mean, also the stakes are just higher. Like as a musician, it's not really enough to just write and play and record music anymore. You know, recording music can be very easy. You can do it in your bedroom or on your phone or on the bus or whatever, and just fucking upload it. You don't need a lot of money and personnel to do that anymore. So I think the trade-off is just that like you have to like really kind of fight for people's attention, if that's what's important to you. So yeah, it's, you know, obviously works in your favor to have like all killers on the record, and just have like no snoozer songs, to just kind of like really keep your foot in the door, and keep people's attention, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if how much that's changed. I feel like that's probably been a thing for a long time, ever since people were putting out records that, hey, let's try and make every song good, or like maybe in the 60s and 70s, they didn't think about sequencing as much, but I feel like in the past couple of decades, like sequencing is always a very important thing. That I've like I listen to a lot of music podcasts, and like sequencing will always be something that comes up. And I think everyone in this band too are like pretty like album centric people. So when like a band that we like puts out a new record, we'll listen to it like front to back, and like we're less like single oriented people, and like we appreciate full records, how they are kind of as a concept. So we put a lot of time into the sequencing to make sure like it would flow, because hoping that people like us would listen to it with those same ears of like, all right, let's take 35 minutes and listen to this whole thing all the way through, you know?
Yeah. My theory is that the emo record with the best sequencing then is Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. So I'm just throwing that out there. Just want it on record.
I agree.
I think Wes is the only one that knows that record.
I'm the only one. It's one of my top 10 favorites. I love it.
I'm seeing the My Chem shirt, so I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to throw this out there.
The Emo Social Club, I had to come prepared.
You had to come, you know.
You had to pander.
That record.
Pandering to your
He's
audience.
gonna be there. He's like, the kids like this, right?
Yeah. I stopped by the Hot Topic and I grabbed this for the show tonight. My reasoning for that is just that like there are a couple like the singles that came out for that record are generally in the middle and then at the end of the record. Like I Write Sins is the 8th track on the full, I think it's 11 songs altogether, 12 songs on it. So it's like, you know, putting your biggest single and one of like Panic at the Disco's biggest singles of all time as the 8th song on the record. I'm like, oh, you know what? Looking back, like that's kind of interesting from like all these other bands that were putting out like their biggest 3 singles they knew were going to be like 1, 2, 3, or like within the first 5 songs on the record. And then like they kind of, I've had a friend who once was like, yeah, we went into the studio and we were telling the producer like, oh, we want like this one. This is going to kind of be like that like part where you like kind of, you know, put in the ballad and you like kind of drop the energy down a little bit. And then you have like the long song at the end and all this. And the producer's just like, why not just write fucking good songs and like just put them all throughout the record? And he's like, shit, you're right.
Yeah, it sucks a lot when a record starts and the hit is the 3rd track, and then by the 5th or 6th track, you're like, all right, fuck this, I'm over it.
You just kind of leave. I've only been like realizing it because I'm going, you know, Emo Social Club, and we're just like, what did we do when we were 12?
And then like you like got like told me like we had, I don't think it was an argument. I think we were just like very like loud about it. I think through like text, probably, if you can get loud through text.
All caps all the time.
All caps all the time. We don't fucking stop. We are never quiet. And you were explaining to me about like sequencing and like why like half the album is a fucking banger or not. And now I like just keep thinking about it all the time. Like I was listening to Cage the Elephant's last album. And I'm like, why is half of this album really fucking good and the rest of this is terrible except for Tokyo Smokes? And then I remembered why. And it's because we had these conversations.
Yeah. I don't know why people write bad songs, I guess. And put them on the record.
We honestly spent like 2 months arguing about sequencing for this record. So we like completely understand like what you're talking about. It was like, it was very intentional and a huge part of a lot of time during quarantine was listening to playlist versions of the record and seeing what felt the best. And yeah,
it's a good way to do it. Just playlists. Like, so you probably listen to your record like 100 times now just to be like
hundreds of
to
times,
get that right one.
Yes.
Yeah. Since we're talking about sequencing, I'll notice that when a band puts out a record and then they tour on the record, the song that they'll open with on that tour is like always the first song off of the new record. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not like that great of a song, it's always the first one. And it's interesting how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now out of this, have you guys started to, I don't know if you have before, but do you typically listen to albums straight through fully without like shuffling, or like, are you playlist type people?
Album.
I'm a record guy.
Yeah, albums for sure.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in that camp.
I love making playlists for people, but I sequence them like thinking about how it's let's bring the energy up, let's bring it back down.
Bring it down,
like, I definitely like I'll make a playlist of like not a long playlist, not like 100 songs, like 10 to 15 songs, and I'll try and like make sure that the end of one track like brings you into the next one. So I just sequence the playlist like a record.
I've never gotten one of these Sam Porter playlists before.
Wow.
I'll make you one.
Do it.
You guys have known each other for so long. You haven't made any mixtape equivalents. Wow.
I think there's probably a burn CD somewhere that you get.
I remember being at a party at your house in high school, and while everyone was downstairs partying, I was just upstairs taking music off your computer onto my iPod. Like just to fill up my like new iPod.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
That's a very specific moment in history when you're like, oh, I brought my laptop if you want to get any songs off of it.
I know. It was so fun to drag it. Drag it to John's iPod.
Yes.
Like the technology had to like figure out to like, can I get a song from somebody else on my iPod by plugging it in? And like, every party be somebody like asking about that kind of shit. Like, oh, what songs do you have on there? Can I grab any? I'm glad we have Spotify. I will say though
that like with records, it takes me a really long time. Like if it's a really good record, like I've been listening to this record by Somos, that last record they put out, Prison on a Hill. And it's like, I'm super late to the game with this record already. I know it's good, but I just hadn't given it a shot. And it's like, I've listened to the whole record a ton of times now, but like I've listened to the first track like 100 times and the second one 99 and the next one 98. Cause I would like, it's so good that like I'll listen to the first track and then I'll get to the second one and I'm like, I got to go back to that first one. And it'll take me a bunch of listens before I'm ready for the second one. And then it's the same thing all over again until I'm like at the last song. And I'm like, okay, now we can start the record over. I love every song. The record's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Encapsulate yourself in that world.
Yeah.
Popcorn Lizzie.
Wow. Look at that. You're doing
That'll
so well with it.
Popcorn Lizzie.
This is how we actually figured out how to not talk over each other.
Yeah. How to do a Zoom interview.
So this, I don't know, this may be controversial to some people. I don't know. But when I heard Paint Me Jade, I said, is this Jesus of Suburbia a little bit? That's the vibes I'm getting. And I stopped and I texted, I put in our notes to Brian. I said, please tell me I'm wrong. And because I kept listening to it, and it's a good song. It's a good song, but I definitely kind of also heard that integrated into the mix as well. And I thought that was like kind of an interesting choice.
We changed it to make it less like Jesus of Suburbia. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to sound like Jesus of Suburbia at all, but like I that's where I fell off with Green Day. I know the song, obviously. I know the fucking song. But like it was like bum, 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 bum. And Anthony was like, we can't do that.
Green Day's calling you guys up right now. They're like,
we're
listen.
musical geniuses, so we changed it to ba-na-na. It's way different.
Yeah.
The rest of the song is not that song at all, obviously, but I understand where you're coming from. We also realized that, thought about it, didn't do a good enough job changing it. Here we are.
Hey, I will say it took me I listened to it once through and then I rewinded it basically on Spotify and I listened. I'm like, this is it. Wait, am I going crazy? But I'm glad that it's confirmed here that I am not going crazy. And that's the vibe everyone's going for.
There are only so many ba 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 like that you can do in punk rock before it sounds like a song. It's another song.
It all just comes back around.
It sounds like Green Day.
Yeah. You only got 3 chords to work with in the Green Day spectrum.
Exactly.
Anthony loves Green Day. It's not his favorite band. His favorite band is Queen.
Okay.
But he loves Green Day.
I can't tell if you're being
Who's
true or not,
Anthony?
but we're going to run
iPad?
correct.
iPad. Sorry.
iPad. It's iPad, everybody. We have to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really wish Anthony could make it tonight, but his iPad's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, my iPad does all the work these days.
I can't tell if you're being serious about liking Green Day or not, because I've found that there's a lot of people who are hating on Green Day lately.
No,
and I'm like, okay.
Real. Yeah.
We have to vet everybody. Like, we don't know. Then we'll also go on like a Blink-182. Like, we hate new Blink-182. And people are like, actually, I like new Blink-182. And I say, I'm so sorry.
Haven't found one person.
Sorry. But also, why?
I think new Blink-182 is pretty good.
Why?
We're gonna go ahead and end the stream just a little early tonight, and
there's like the newer one. There's like some catchy stuff to it, some catchy songs.
Yeah,
that's why.
There you go. That's enough of a response.
I just in the past 2 years started listening to the self-titled record because I just like fell off after Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I was talking to my coworker and I was like, dude, that's like the Blink record. It's so good. And he was like, are you crazy? Like, you haven't listened to the self-titled one? That's like their adult record. Then I listened to that one. It's fucking great. So I'm like, I feel like an old man. I'm like super slow to like finding out about like Matt Skiba's in Blink-182.
That one's still like fine. It's like, wait, what? That's not Tom. Where are you? I ask to Tom DeLonge.
We played the Riot Fest when Blink-182 played, and I pretended to be chasing a balloon because we had like our VIP passes, and we're allowed on. We saw Rancid side stage, we saw the Raconteurs like side stage. It was like incredible, right? So we're like, sweet, we just get to be side stage for Patti Smith and every fucking band. And then we go to try and get side stage for Blink-182, and they're like, absolutely not. No one can come up here. And so we're like, oh, this sucks. And then I saw this like balloon, there's like balloon people with like balls and balloons. And I like pretended like I was like, oh, it bounced over there. Hang on, let me go get it. And I like ran between the buses and I just snuck on stage. And I was just like there over their set. It was so cool.
I tried to get into that in line, but I wasn't allowed. But I watched Dan Andriano show his pass and then get on side stage. And I was like, all right, you're close enough to them, I guess.
I guess.
I felt like such a piece of shit. I was literally like 50 feet up looking down on my band and my friends as they were like in the dark, like behind the stage. And I was like,
hey
guys. So I made it.
I wouldn't deny you that.
Yeah.
You got to take those
even
moments
though you're
for
a
yourself
poser
sometimes.
and didn't even listen to this self-titled one until a couple years ago.
They were playing Enema though, so
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's within the range of time.
Oh
Yeah.
I fist bumped Mark Hoppus. That's all I can contribute to that.
Dude,
nice.
Take it.
I was like walking towards him like that, and he was like, "Oh, do I know you?" And I just didn't say anything.
You're like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're besties. Didn't you know?
Remember me from 10 years ago?
It could be true.
Listen, it could be. Like I could
toured
go
with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
We
one of those other
opened.
whiny emo kids. Come on, get with it.
Like when I look at a lot of people at like Araya Fests, I'm like, I could definitely pretend to be somebody else right now and nobody would tell me apart. Like I'm ordinary white guy right now. I could walk into anywhere and just go, I'm literally anyone, and I could just get through. I feel like it's very easy and fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I heard that if you are carrying a ladder, you can kind of get into just about anything.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Carrying a ladder
I'm not
through
going to stop
Riot
at a
Fest.
ladder.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Who's gonna say something?" Like they're all right. They're working.
Yeah,
Let 'em through.
they're putting on the show. I have nothing but respect for my troops. The ladder
Reflective
man.
vest.
Could you get into the park with a ladder?
Very,
Invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, am I going to show up to Riot
Actually,
Fest with a ladder in my car?
This podcast is now about how you can sneak into music festivals, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna popcorn around, and that's it, and
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Me and John could talk about that for a while. I
Did
think.
that for years.
Yeah.
We snuck into Lollapalooza, Pitchfork, all in high school. It was a blast.
Yeah, just jump the fence. It was super fun. Jump the fence or run in the exit. There's a photo of me on Flickr somewhere like mid porta potty hop because you climb the fence and then hop the porta potty. And someone got me. I'm like in the background like hurtling a porta potty.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Then
It's
they
pretty
start
fun.
arresting people, and if you're 25 and you get arrested for trying to sneak into Lollapalooza, that's kind of embarrassing. But when you're 17, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 25. You know somebody who works there in some capacity, or you can maybe afford to get in. Please don't embarrass yourself. Don't do it, guys. It's not worth it. It's fucking Lollapalooza.
Look, there's a good band playing. I want to go.
Brian, I know we had our 21 Pilots experience at Lollapalooza, but
I'm just saying. I would.
What was
I
your
would
21
probably have
Pilots experience?
Yeah. Share with the
You
class.
can't just say that and then
Lizzie cried on my shoulder.
because we had,
Well, I guess my arm because you're
we
much
had
shorter
way
than
too-
I am. But
yeah,
like they started playing car radio, and next
Brian,
thing I know,
there was a lot of wine. There was a lot of free
it's a
Tito's
lot of
vodka.
wine.
There's
It
a
was
lot of things involved. There's a lot of things involved to lead up to
Yeah.
that moment, and seeing Death Cab for Cutie earlier that day.
yeah, and Tenacious D,
Knowing people in the VIP is great until it's not.
and also
Eh,
it's weighted.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, she's cried. It was a lot of. I was like, I'm only gonna have 2 drinks today, and each of those was a complete bottle of rosé. So I only had 2 drinks for the entire day. It was great.
you
And
love
then you just-
21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Did they sing
yeah.
the sad songs?
You know, yes, but also, I've found that they've been obviously changing their sound over the years. You know, into their 3rd record, and they just put out their new single, and I'm like feeling this new single, and like, you know, I felt like their last record was a little bit longer, and you know, much like we were saying about sequencing, a lot stronger at the top, and a little bit more, you know, fluctuating at the end, I guess.
You're
So
being so polite for no reason. 21 Pilots is
They
not
might
coming to our
be here.
stream, Brian.
They might be here. I don't know where those. I don't know if they're just looking for opinions about their new single online. If they're just coming through streams, like trying to get some hot goss. The Emo Soch Club might be dropping hot goss.
Yeah.
Sipping tea.
Hot goss.
Yeah.
All right, Kali Masi, what's the hot gossip between, hop the fence?
What's the hot goss?
What is it?
I sent the photo in the chat.
Love it.
Sweet.
Oh, nice. That was a quick find.
Yeah. See, I don't know how to chat it to the Twitch folks, but
Let me try.
I love the caption.
What is
try
the
to get it over
caption?
there.
Is it just like
Bold,
insulting?
dude.
Alice got it.
Bold.
Oh my god.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. For those hanging on Twitch, you can see him leaping over porta potties in the
Love
chat.
it.
Yeah,
Excellent.
get it in there.
Bold, dude. Anyway, yes. So I wanted to ask you about the video for Guilt Like a Gun because I really liked it. It kind of gave me like the why am I blanking on the name?
You're really struggling
Go.
here a little bit.
How dare you? The OK Go video where they're on the treadmills and just how they did a lot of those like very, very colorful, very intricately like kind of organized and choreographed videos. And I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I like this. How did that come together? How did the idea come together? How did you make it?
Wes, you want
I
to
got
start?
it. So it was originally Sam came up with the idea for the video of just like a party with phones. We're playing on them, interacting, and then sort of the initial planning out of how things would work together was Sam and I. We had met and sort of discussed like, okay, well, say if you move from this phone to this phone, how would this work in a physical space? How will it look on a table? So it was sort of it was a lot of planning, like everything together. It was like, okay, well, we want like the table view. We want the phones to be interacting in this way. And is this possible for us to do in real life? So we kind of made like a plan to do both. So like first, obviously being like filming ourselves, that would, be the videos playing on our phones. And then kind of do the table stuff, working around that. And then the actual like filming of the video itself with the table was a lot of fun because we had the sort of the choreography down for how we were going to move the phones, but the rest of it was kind of I did it a bunch of times until we sort of found a good rhythm of like setting bottles on tables, clearing things off, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of many hours spent planning. There's a lot of test videos still on my phone of just like half of my face. So.
Yeah, we filmed the like what is on the actual phones like in the same room. Our friend Chris has like a large space that he lives in, like a huge studio, and we set up like 4 of these different colored backdrops and like had 4 separate cameras all running at the same time, and that part is all one actual take. And then 4 separate videos out to 4 separate phones, then film those videos on the phones. It was like choreography for the video or for the phone section, and then a choreography for the phone section. It took a lot of time, and we were thinking of like, oh man, it'll like we were kind of talking about how like we don't feel like a lot of like bands like us like kind of go for it with a video like that a lot, and we were like, let's fucking try it. Let's see what happens if we did like an OK Go kind of thing. Like what would that turn out like? And it was really fun. It was a lot of fucking work, but ended up being really, really cool.
So the actual video that was on the phones was actually playing on the phones in the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to go 1,
blows my
2,
mind.
3, play. Like,
that blows my mind.
Oh,
Such a
man.
long
We had to
Oh,
restart,
gosh.
and it would be like at least like a few seconds in before we'd realize that they were off. We'd have to reset.
Yeah.
And then so like filming the video, I think the hardest part was like trying to make it look natural without just like one of us like moving the phones around. So it's supposed to kind of be like a party, right? You wouldn't just be like methodically moving phones so things work together, But yeah, it worked out I think pretty well.
Yeah. I'm glad I was right on with the OK Go reference, because I'm like, this looks like they put a lot of time and effort in to make like a cool video. And I, like you said, I don't see a lot of bands really taking video is the way to get somebody to pay attention to your band now. I feel like putting more visual content of your band out there, especially now when you can't be in front of an audience. So I've been kind of surprised that like more bands haven't been like, well, we have time, let's like choreograph and create this intricate, cool video. So I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is like really cool. I just thought you like filmed and did like a green screen effect and like put it all in post. So I was like, yeah, it's cool. But you're like, no, we did it all live, like OK Go. And I'm like, oh shit, this is even more intricate than I thought. Blowing my mind right now.
To do that. Which is
They're better than OK Go though, because our budget was like $200, and OK Go probably gets those cool music videos done because they have a $200,000 budget.
Yeah, I'm saying.
We were
$200. We've been looking at all these videos too, and we're like, man, they used to have like thousands of dollars to do a video that's on YouTube in 240p, and like this is lame.
Like the first video I think of when you say that is like the thong song video.
Oh my God.
Like, it's so good. Like it's there's so much like special effects going on, and like when the key change happens and it goes to like blacklight thongs.
Yeah.
What is that? That's crazy.
Don't forget about the stomp. There's that big
the stomp. Yeah, he like does the thing with his foot, and then the whole all the sand comes up. It's amazing. Me and Wes
Thousands of
did,
dollars for that.
Ridiculous.
Me and Wes did thong song karaoke in Edinburgh when we were in Scotland.
Oh yeah.
And we missed the key change. We just stayed right in the same key.
It went poorly. There's a lot of words I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like a lot more.
The word it's repeating.
Yeah, it's just the same thing 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No. Well, the karaoke
Like,
screen, the karaoke screen is presenting like a whole nother set of lyrics that I've never heard. That's in the background, or it's like booty go, da-na. It's like whatever is going on in the background of "Let Me See That Thong" is So it was confusing. It was a bit of a disaster, but hey, it was fun.
We were like we're gonna get up there and fucking crush thong song, like me and Wes, like Bad Boys 2, like up on stage,
Oh my
and we were
God.
like fist bumping and stuff. And then we just did like 10 verses. We just did the first verse, chorus like over and over, and then the song ended, and we were like, "Oh shit, okay, kick it off," you know.
We tried our best here, and it went okay, and that's all we can ask for.
Exactly.
It's like the Snyder cut of the thong song.
Jesus Christ.
We know you wanted 4 hours of this. Here you go. Lizzie Popcorn.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Good.
So you guys did a live stream with The Alternative, which I thought was interesting because we haven't talked to too many bands that have done live stream shows this year. How was that getting set up? Because we have also been like, that'd be cool in theory, but it seems like there's a lot more that like we can't control to like make a good quality stream. So how was that experience for you guys?
We're going to break your heart and say that it wasn't live. We pre-recorded it at our practice space.
Always.
You got to do it.
And mic'd it all up and mixed it and stuff like that. But that's a good question because I think about bands who do live, like, and that sounds so stressful. And so there are so many like moving parts to make something like that happen. It's way easier to just do it pre-recorded, and I feel like people are stoked on it either way.
I mean, after all the choreography you did for the video that you made, I'm sure you could do something live too. Just a live performance of moving phones around a table.
Yeah.
No, it really is like I've seen a lot of bands that have tried to do live stuff, and it's just like internet and how many viewers are coming to it and all this kind of stuff. I was just watching like I guess probably a lot of like big TV shows like Jimmy Fallon and like all these like late night shows are doing like all these performances too. And I'm like, man, you can't even figure out how to do a live performance. Like you're like, obviously they're pre-recording because they have a ton of money, but if they do anything live, it's super choppy. Nobody knows how to like operate. And I'm like, we've been in this for a year. You should know like how to talk on Zoom and how Zoom works. And like, also, why are you using Zoom for this? You're multi-million-dollar studio. Like, what are you doing? So I don't know. It seems strange. And I know a lot of bands have kind of shied away from it because they're like, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to set it up. And like, we could just do stuff on our own too. But at least like, you know, taking that chance and doing something recorded, I'm sure is like still stressful, but did you get like a good response to it from your audience?
Yeah, I think so. We did another streamed event for our record release show, and I feel like that went a little bit better. So we did the alternative one, and we kind of discussed ways we could have made it better. And so then 2 weeks later, we did our record release one, and we were able to make it better based on the alternative one.
And how was planning that? Because I think that was one of the first like bigger like kind of record release like live stream shows, obviously pre-recorded live stream. So what kind of came into mind when thinking about that? Was that something that was originally entailed, or was it something that you were like, let's just try it? Like, fuck it, let's just try it.
That came together so last minute.
Yeah.
I feel
It was like a week and a half before we did it. We were like, should we do it? Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. All right, I guess we're doing it. So we have to do it. And we just reached out to a bunch of people and we were like, let's make it low pressure and ask people to just do like a song or 2 songs, or don't even play a song. Like just show us how to make a drink or something, just to have all our friends in on it. And everybody was like, yeah, fuck yeah. That sounds cool. Like everybody said, it was wild how many people were like, yeah, totally, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you have like
when we kind of opened it up to like as many people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When you have a specific, no, it's okay. When you have a specific deadline for something and it's like, okay, this is due in a week, opposed to this is due in a few months or something. When you're like, then it kind of, things can get done under pressure pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have overthought it if it was months in the making, and I think it went fantastically.
Yeah.
Do you think if like
though,
oh, go ahead.
The live stream thing, like actual like live stream thing, because at the beginning of pandemic I did a couple of like acoustic ones, and they were really fun, but man, you really like, you're like, play the last chord and then you are very alone in your apartment, because there's like no comment and no response. Like one that I did that I was like, all right, this is my last one. Like, thank you guys so much. This is really cool. And someone commented in the chat, like, you have 25 more minutes. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you're playing for an hour. And I was like, okay. Like, I thought I was playing for like 30 minutes, like hard, like a regular live stream, of course, like 30 fucking minutes. Like, sure. And it was an hour. Like I had to be on there for an hour. So I was just like, all right, I'll play every song I know and every cover. And I just like, I didn't remember them all. It was really embarrassing and hard, but it was just like, and you're just like finish songs that, and just like, there's like a little number of how many people are at the stream. And you're just like, it's not why I play music. This is weird.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like I was saying, I think a lot of bands are shied away from it, probably for what you're saying. It's like this isn't it. Like yeah. I don't know. It's like if shows don't come back right for a while, I don't know. No, not in prediction business at all here, so I don't fucking know. But if shows don't come back still for a while, like, do you think you would try to do other stuff with that, or do you think it's like we did it, we're focused on other stuff?
Wait, what? Say that again?
Like if shows don't come back for a while, you know, we don't know when they're going to come back now. Do you think you would stay doing like some live streaming stuff, or do you think you would just do like some other, like focus your energy elsewhere?
Maybe like the occasional live stream, but like I don't think we'd want to overdo it or anything. There's always still tons of other work to be done in the band that isn't necessarily playing a show, you know. I think live streams kind of get old.
I mean, we definitely, I don't know, we're pretty restless, and we like to think outside the box a lot. So I think that if whatever, but you know, became the standard in lieu of playing shows or whatever, I don't think that that's what would affect what we ended up doing. You know what I mean? I think we would just kind of do whatever, you know. We're also not really like, I mean, for a band that like we're all very like into what we're doing in this band, but you know, we're not really swayed by like what we're supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? Like we kind of never have been. I think we want people to appreciate what we're doing, but it's like, I mean, there's so many things that I mean, the industry anyway is constantly changing, and in the last year or so it's obviously just completely changed. But we've just never really, I don't think we've ever really been motivated by like, this is what you guys are supposed to be doing in order to, you know, keep the ball rolling or whatever. Cause that's just not, you know, I mean, we just want to make music the way that we make music, I guess, you know? So yeah, I don't know. We just do our thing.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I never, again, Zoom interviews. I'm never
Yeah,
like,
we're always just like,
I want to leave space for everybody else to talk.
yeah.
'Cause the delay is there. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit like bouncing back and forth in my brain of like, oh man, our show's coming back. Like, is all this like going to go away? And are people going to be really stoked? And are we going to have like 18 shows happening on the same night that we have to go to because I haven't seen a show in a year? And it's like, what are people thinking about like for their future for like right now? And I know people are just really fucking antsy to be in front of a crowd, like really fucking antsy to be in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I think that, you know, when shows are a thing again, I think things are going to be very different. I think that like culturally, a lot of things have changed in the last year. And I also think that, I mean, people have just had some time to step away and think about what they want shows to be like and stuff like that. And then meanwhile, like the whole, the industry side of stuff is going to be totally different because all the venues are going to want to operate probably in a totally different way. But I don't know. We just do, when we play shows, we're not thinking about we're not necessarily thinking about how can we get the most people to come see us or we're just trying to do what we think is cool and play well and have fun, I mean, yeah, we're just not, like I said, we're just not super, I don't know. We're just not really, it sounds lame, but industry minded, we just want to do what we want to do.
We're going to stick to live streams.
Live streams only.
Internet only band.
When shows come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to turn into an NFT band is what I'm hearing. In the
whatever that means. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Not fucking trying.
It's not a bad acronym. Concerts. No fun today.
No fun. Actually, yeah. All right, I like that one the most. Sorry, I lost my question there. Lizzie, popcorn. Gotcha. Surprise.
Wow, I love the surprise popcorn. I also noticed that you guys had originally been under a different name called The Howl up until I think it was 2017, 2018. What made you guys change it to transition over into Kali Masi?
Anthony, you got to answer that one.
There's a ton of bands with that name. And we was getting to the point where we're booking our first European tour and about to put out our first full length record. And it was just switched their name to The Howl from UK. And we were just we were like, hey, can you not? Because we are already. And they were like, no. Well, they're like, we'll never cross paths. We live in different countries. And we were like, literally, we're trying to go to your country. So we will cross paths. And we just were like, let's fucking change our band. Because there was just tons of bands with the same name. We were trying to fucking set ourselves apart,
There was that one band in Canada that was always, it was Freya Wilcox and The Howl.
Mm-hmm. They're from New York.
They'd always play that. They'd always play Pooza Fest with us in Montreal. I wonder if that band Howl from the UK is still a band.
They're from Maine, I think, or they're a metal band from. I want to say Maine. They're not a band anymore.
Oh, they're not a band. Wow, fuck you guys.
Guess who won out?
Name.
Well,
you guys broke up.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Howl. There's a metal band called Howl.
Oh yeah, there's that one.
They had the rights to the name.
Yeah, they had the rights, but they were like, "Go ahead and use it," and everybody was like, "That's a trap. Don't use it."
That's a trap. I mean, it's going to be hard to get bookings, and it's going to be
the wrong fans will show up. The wrong fucking fans will show up to your show.
You don't want the metal fans. We did that by mistake for one of our DJ streams, and we said, I'm sorry, you all seem like very nice people, but no.
Well, no. Did they?
There wasn't that.
Did they?
There were some nice people.
I went to Riot Fest. It was, I forget what year, but it was the band called The Deer Hunter. DEAR.
Yes.
And the girl I was dating at the time was like, yeah, I really want to go see Deer Hunter. And I was like, sounds good. Let's go. Turns out Deer Hunter is also an electronic group where it's spelled DEER and as all one word. And then she's like, literally their set ended and she goes, I've never heard of that band before in my life. I was like, we just stood here for 45 minutes watching them. What do you mean? Honestly, though, I was a fan and I've listened to them since. I thought they were pretty good.
One of them's
they're good.
the dude that was in Dallas Buyers Club, like Jared Leto's boyfriend.
What?
What?
Yeah, one of the singers of one of the Deer Hunter bands. I don't know which one is an actor.
Huh. Chad is saying Bradford Cox, singer of Deer Hunter, all one word.
Okay.
At yahoo.com. I
We're
assume
gonna
it's an
email
email
him?
address too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
it's probably
sir.
at Yahoo.
Or it could be at Hotmail. Okay, there are some people who have not gotten with the times.
If they're a UK artist, it's definitely at Hotmail. I hope there's no UK people in the chat who are going to call me out on that.
Why?
Is there anybody in the chat?
I don't know why, but like even when I've worked at multiple places, people who are in Europe, most of them have Hotmail accounts. Like they'll email you from a Hotmail account, or they'll be like they'll be visiting or something, and they'll be like, "Yeah, take down my email. It's this." And it's like Google. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's still popular over there.
I
Yeah, I
guess.
ship out. So I ship all of our packages and stuff. So I get people's emails, and I still see a lot of Hotmail. I'm always impressed. Really, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, holding on strong.
It might be the burner accounts, really, for a lot of people.
Ooh,
What's wrong with Hotmail?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yikes!
I don't know.
I've
Hotmail?
never used it, and I'm just like, is this like a Zune iPod thing? Like,
No, it
Like
just
a
got
little?
like really outdated after a while. Like if you were to try to use the interface at a certain point, it just like wouldn't really buffer or load on like any
still,
systems. Still,
Hotmail is a company, and they're like, we're not fixing this. It's perfect.
yeah. One of my editors at work, he uses Hotmail solely. He doesn't use like our actual
MSN.
like.
I mean, they just don't have.
It just
That's so
doesn't
weird.
work. It just doesn't work.
But like, I don't know. The fact that it's still an option to add to your mail app on your phone is like, why is Hotmail here?
Yeah.
I talk to my mom on MS every day.
Yeah.
Aim.
It's like that kid that like keeps getting invited to the school parties, but like everyone is like, why does this kid keep getting invited here? Like it's been years. We need him. Like who keeps telling him to come? Who keeps telling Hotmail to be on our phone?
I'm right here, dude.
I mean, oops.
Oops.
The follow-up
Brian
record.
is just bullying
Oops.
people.
Only if they have Hotmail. I guarantee that nobody who uses a Hotmail email account is currently in our chat or knows how to listen to a podcast.
Oh my god. I
They
didn't
can
know
come
Brian
for me, I don't care.
Brian's really
That's
coming out with
probably
violence
true.
tonight, and I'm wondering why, and I'm concerned why.
They can come for me. I don't care. I also don't feel very strongly about the opinion I just made. I'm just like, let's just start random shit with people who have Hotmail accounts. They'll send me an email and they'll be like, "Dear reader."
All right, Brian, what was your MSN away message then? Now you have to tell us because you're bullying everybody.
My away message? Like the emo lyrics?
Yeah.
Shit. It was a My Chem one, I'm pretty sure. I think it was
I
just,
definitely had brand new lyrics in my AIM
yeah,
away
everybody
message
had
at
brand
one
new
point.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine was thank you for the venom. That was my away message for a long time.
Good call.
But it was AOL, not MSN. MSN, I think, was just be right back.
I remember I had a link to that one Bright Eyes video where they go crazy. They play Ode to Joy, and like the trumpet player at the end is like smashing their trumpet like on the ground. I had a link to that video in my AIM away message.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You had to like show your true stand-up during that point, because what else are you gonna do?
I remember
Be
putting
alone.
Yeah. Be
listen to
alone and
Bright Eyes by
question
yourself.
everything.
I think I put a Bright Eyes lyric in there one time, but I've never really listened to Bright Eyes, and I was just trying to look cool in front of people.
There, dude.
It's like, I will say to you right here, right now, that I was posing, pretending I liked Bright Eyes. When
How was I supposed to get a girlfriend in 7th grade if I didn't have Bright Eyes lyrics?
I'm saying.
My aim.
Listen, Brian, how's anybody supposed to get a significant other if you don't have your Bright Eyes lyrics queued up on whatever app it is at this point?
I was very single at that time in my life. High school was rough. I was one of the kids in the movie that like never got girlfriends, you know? Now that we don't have away messages, I'm doing much better. So
Brian,
I don't know.
you were McLovin. You were McLovin. That's it. I sound like that is not right.
McLoving.
You are McLoving. Gangsters, what's up?
Wes is the quietest, but I feel like he is the most knowledgeable of all emo.
Yeah, I feel like he's the one who had like the most intense like away messages and everything.
He knows all about Fall Out Boy and stuff. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. No, I definitely think with the crew here at Emo Social Club, I think we're more on the same page on things we listen to. I didn't have an away message. I would make just a bunch of emails, like just a bunch of like different names for emails. To be fair, actually, like none of them were email. The one I had for a long time that I think I can still get into was Strawberry Fields Forever 22 at yahoo.com.
Oh my god!
With an underscore between each word.
Ooh.
Also, man,
I believe I had an Astro Zombies one as well from the Misfits song. So I guess maybe at least punk, but
it wasn't the MCR cover of the Astro Zombies though.
To be honest, I'm going to be real with you. That's how I learned about the Misfits. It's from that cover.
That's fair.
And, the Tony Hawk's American Wasteland CD that I had.
Well, sweet. We're almost at an hour. So I want to give you a chance here for plugs to throw out where everybody can listen to and find the record. We'll keep talking with everybody over on Twitch for a little bit, answer some more questions, talk about more random shit. And but yeah, before we get into that, where can everybody find you on the internet? Your band, or you can throw out your personals if you want. I don't know. It's up to you.
Hotmail at Kali Masi.
Oh my god.
Come.
Kali Masi Band on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, Spotify, Kali Masi, Apple Music, iTunes. What else we got, guys?
Tidal,
TikTok.
TikTok. Oh yeah.
Face.
Yeah, we're here on the internet very much. On the internet right now.
Very online.
Are you guys actively on your TikTok? Is the next question.
I go on it every day. We
Kinda.
don't post that often. We're trying to figure it out. I don't know. It's tough to be represent a group of people on a very individualist app. Maybe we should just go on there and fucking be ourselves. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just, what should we promote today? You know, and TikTok's weird.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we found is that you can't really go on and promote. You just have to, you can do it, but you have to do a bunch of dumb shit and trends in between all of it. And then hope you don't get shadow banned, and then have like a couple like blow up randomly, and then be content with only getting up to 200 views for a while until it happens again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we have to be musicians and also TikTok dance joke comedian creators as well? That's come on. A lot of pressure on people for just playing guitar and drums and shit.
It's very true.
Be funny. Be very funny.
Yeah.
I will say there is a lot of like very good music stuff on TikTok. Like either people who are like writing 30-second songs, just like writing, you know, like there's one creator, I think her name is Natalie Burdick, who creates like a joke song a day. And it's like, wow, this is actually really funny. And like, it's kind of like jazzy, and she's just like making like cool little images on the video. I'm like, okay, I like that. I'm not going to do it, but I like that they're doing it, and I'm going to watch this. And then when it comes to creating shit, you're like, I can't think of a single thing to put on this app.
Yeah.
That's why I have to put it on for you.
It's all Lizzie. Lizzie is our TikToker because she's like 10 years younger than I am.
And it sucks to go through life like thinking like, oh, what I should film this right now on my phone. This could become a good TikTok. It's like, why? I just want to enjoy it while it's happening to me. It's like my mind personally doesn't work like that.
I think that's very fair. I think some minds are not built to like create content at a moment's notice like that. You got to like either prepare it or present it in some way. And some people are just more like, this is what I'm doing right now. And then they get like millions of views. And it's like that. Yeah.
If you have a mental breakdown on TikTok, though, people really like it, is also what I found. Maybe don't do that, though.
As a representation of all that I hate in this world.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, same.
I've seen some really chaotic stuff. I'm like, hey, somebody call help for you. Like,
Jesus.
I don't know if you should be putting this on the internet.
Yeah.
We should just make apology videos on TikTok, on TikTok, but of just like stuff we did in like 4th grade that we feel bad about.
Yeah.
It's actually you guys apologizing for every single music festival you hopped into. You're like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to Pitchfork.
This is why Lollapalooza went bankrupt. We're so sorry.
I've been loving Mark Rebier on TikTok. He makes me laugh.
No, he's great.
So good.
That's my fave. That's my fave TikToker. That's what it should be used for, in my opinion.
I just learned how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I thought it was something else entirely.
Rebier. Okay.
Rebillet.
That's what I was saying.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being like overly fancy. Have you ever done that? Like go crazy on a word and people are like, that's not, it's 2 L's makes an L sound, not a Y.
Do you guys think TikTok will stay around, or will it kind of be like a MySpace type of situation and be irrelevant in a few years?
I think it's definitely going to stay around, especially with the way a lot of big media companies are adapting to it. Like, especially it's going to fill the void that Facebook has left. So I think people are going to use it as a tool, but I think it's going to evolve substantially as it kind of progresses onwards and what the needs of society are and what people are looking for media consumption. That's just me and my professional opinion
That's
as
a really
being in
good
media.
answer.
Yeah.
Sounded like you've answered that before.
Yes, all I do is yell at a bunch of they're very nice boomers in the newsroom. Like, hey, I think we should be doing this. No, we don't know. Okay, never mind.
No, we don't know what it is, Lizzie.
Basically,
Don't know what that is.
They're like, are you dancing? No, I can't. First of all, so no.
I think one thing that TikTok is really good for that a lot of other platforms are still dealing with, and I'm sure TikTok is dealing with it in its own way, but is the music discovery by influencer method. Like with DMCA shit on Twitch and on YouTube, there's no room for somebody to be like, yo, I really dig this new record. Let's listen to it together and let me talk about it, because everything like labels are like, you know, sending out fines and shit to people, or they're like taking it down immediately. And it's like, but everything else on the internet is found through somebody saying, I really like this shit. Here's me talking about it. Like, it's not necessarily like the artist creating the music. It's somebody else saying, I love this music. Let's all enjoy it together. And TikTok is one of the only places where you can actually kind of still do that. I don't know if they're going through DMCA shit too, but the fact that like a lot of artists have blown up so much on TikTok just through the use of people like mouthing the words to it, like that kind of, it says something for like music discovery that no other platform can do. In just that, I think the music industry is either going to try to just destroy it and take it down entirely, or they're going to try to monopolize and capitalize on it, which will keep the system kind of running over there.
Well, they don't. I mean, they use Spotify or something, don't they? I mean, I think that every time, I don't know if it's Spotify, but I know that like the way that people access songs on there is through like digital distros. So it's actually more legit. And the industry is probably more, you know, just into it's like ringtones or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a while when ringtones like weren't legit or whatever, and then suddenly they just figured out a way to monetize ringtones. I mean, now you can't monetize music itself like at all, but you know, I think TikTok, you know, they probably count it as like a stream or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know you upload a lot of people upload their own sounds. Yeah.
Say that again.
Well, I know people upload their own sounds too, so like you can create your own thing from there. So like y'all could go on there and upload like a section of a song, like 30 seconds of a song of your you know, the intro, the longest song, just uploaded in 30-second little bits, or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, all of our songs are on there currently. I assume just because they're, you know, like I said, through our digital distro or whatever. Or like they're on there pretty much immediately after we released the record.
Yeah, like you were saying about like people just mouthing along to songs. It's like there really hasn't been, because we didn't think that we needed it, like a good place for people to do that, you know. And the medium of TikTok is so it's like junk food. It's like so disposable in a great way where people can just be like, this is what I'm doing right this second, and people can just watch it and go like, cool, next thing, or I like that or whatever. And like, I don't know, there's too much prestige and preparation to like make a post on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And like, it feels like TikTok is very much like fucking whatever. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Agreed.
Basically.
Well, let's keep the conversation going over on Twitch. We can chat with everybody. I saw a couple questions in there, so we'll answer those. But this will be the end of the podcast part. So, hang out with us on Twitch. And Kali Masi, thank you so much for being on tonight. This was
thanks,
it was an absolute blast.
Yeah, thank you.
Pick up our record. Pick up our merch. Pick up our hot sauce.
Ooh.
You guys want to talk about the hot sauce?
We'll talk about the hot sauce.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, maybe not. Maybe that's not announced yet.
Oh shit! Recording over.